Let's go, let's go! Let's go, let's go! Let's go, baby! Whoa!
Ball start. Offense, the center reacted. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down. After video review, the ruling is the runner was down a half-yard short of the line to gain. It'll be 4th down. 2 minutes leave the game for one play due to his helmet coming out. Second down.
Don't drop the mic, guys. It's the first game of the year. Don't do the stupid penalties. Make sure you're not hurting yourself and losing the game instead of going to win it.
First down run, Washington into the middle of the defense. By the way, Colton Price is back in, the center who got bandaged up in a big way after getting cut with blood dripping down his face.
Yeah. Listen, I said it before, nobody makes me bleed my own blood, but if there's one thing we do know about Colton Price is that he is the leader of that offensive line up front. So he's probably willing to fight through the blood to be out there for his guys.
He's dealt with broken fingers, a sprained wrist before. Here's a deep shot down the right sideline. Cole Wilson skating inside the 15. The one-on-ones were going to be huge. Baylor hits the first one.
Hey, guess what? We showed you guys this route in the pregame. It's a box fade. Cole Wilson, as they raved about his speed, stacks the defender and uses his speed to get over the top. And Sawyer Robertson delivered a beautiful throw after looking off the safety. I can't wait to show you guys that one in a replay here when we have some time.
Boy, they love their possibilities on the outside in this game. Washington to the 5.
You know, Jason, when we talked to Jake Spavital, the offensive coordinator for Baylor, he talked about we got to take some shots down the field early. Yeah. They're gonna force us to, in man coverage, to have to win the one-on-ones down the field. And they did it right there with Cole Wilson, someone that many didn't believe would be a starter for them coming into this season. But right there on one play, he shows you how dynamic he can be. It reminds me a lot of Tevin Reese from my playing days here at Baylor.
Okay. Transfer from Texas State, Cole Wilson, following Jake Spavital here a year later from the 5. 2nd and goal down the middle. Washington keeps his feet and digs down to the 2. Woodyard got a big piece of him, and Washington nearly had the want to.
Yeah, you see Keldrick Falk right there got into the backfield pretty quickly. Auburn is doing a really nice job of winning some of their one-on-one matchups up front, but they're not getting the backs to stay down at the point of contact. Right there, Bryson Washington took a run that was probably blocked for -3 yards and turned it to a positive gain.
3rd and goal here, Robert. They have Kloffenstein, one of the tight ends. They really like the tight end room this year. He is the man in motion, and this is going nowhere. It's a loss of 1. That's Keldrick Falk, one of the top defensive players in the SEC with the stop.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Keldrick Falk. He's right here in the, not quite on the edge, but watch him stack, shed, get to the back, and finish this time, which he didn't on the previous play. But you just saw about 3 Auburn defenders in the backfield. They are a very penetrating defense.
Baylor's going to go here. 4th and goal from the 3. Robertson, short set, end zone, incomplete. He wanted Trigg. It's knocked away. Champ Anthony got the hand in, and Auburn holds the line. The junior from Fort Worth, Champ Anthony, keeps Baylor out of the end zone. What a hold for the Tigers.
had an opportunity to throw a touchdown, but you could see the disappointment on Coach Spavital's face.
It was there. So 10 plays in Auburn territory and 3 points for Baylor. But that's good news for Auburn, a team that has really struggled in the past year with situational football. They were under 50% in red zone touchdowns. To get a stop there is enormous.
Yeah, very enormous, especially when your offense goes out there and kind of lays an egg on the first drive. You want to let them know, hey, man, we're playing complimentary football. We got your back. We're going to keep you in this game. Get it right, Hugh Freeze and Jackson Arnold.
Gain of 3 for Alston, and they're going to run it again. He gets to the outside, breaks a tackle, and bowls to the 19-yard line. That is a first down for Auburn, and Damari Alston, the 4th-year Auburn Tiger, out of Atlanta with a strong run.
Yeah, Damari Alston's been waiting his time, biding his time, knowing that his opportunity would eventually come. They're very excited about seeing what he can do in the running game with a much improved offensive line, bringing in 2 big tackles from the transfer portal. They could be better in the run game even without Jarquez Hunter.
Mason Murphy from USC, Xavier Chaplin from Virginia Tech. And this is a run. It's Jackson Arnold, and he is chopped down after a short gain by Devin Bobby. But you feel like Arnold's legs are going to be important tonight.
Yeah, it's one of those things of in practice, you just don't know. Hey, did he tackle the quarterback? Did he not tackle the quarterback? So Jackson's out here really getting his first real action of guys really trying to tackle him. He's got to get his legs underneath him. But right now, right there, you saw Devin Bobby, the safety from Baylor, coming and closing ground and making a tackle in open space. Baylor has to continue to be aggressive to keep Jackson Arnold in the pocket.
He was a running back at age 10, he said, for a couple years. So, you know, he's got it in him. That's batted down right at the line by Cooper Lands, the senior. It is 3rd down. Maybe Freelou got in there as well.
Yeah, you're going to see they're going to drop back to pass as we let this thing roll. And Jackson Arnold takes his eyes to the left, tries to make a throw. And this is an interesting thing that Baylor is doing. Cooper Lands is the one that got his hand on the ball there. They're not rushing all of the guys all at once. Some of them are sticking back and trying to spy Arnold. That's an interesting tactic to try to keep him in the pocket.
It sets up a 3rd down and 7. We have not seen those receivers make a big play yet for the Tigers. Arnold hopping in the pocket, trying to run. He shakes by 2 and gets the first down. Eventually wrangled by Keaton Thomas, but there it is from Arnold, the escapability. And there's a Baylor player down. It's Jackie Marshall.
You know, we're praying for Jackie Marshall to get up, but right here you're going to see Jackson Arnold slide in the pocket, and when it's time to go, quarterbacks, you got to go. He breaks those tackles, the arm tackles right there, gets vertical to get the first down. This will be interesting.
This is a quarterback who gave himself up. So there's a possibility of targeting here. Marshall is down. We will check and see and take you through the possibilities of the rule there. They're going to help Marshall up, and we'll be back. Going to play on. We'll hear from Mike Pereira if we get a moment after the play. First down off the run for Arnold. A lot of time. He'll check it down. Middle of the field, Preston Howard, the tight end. Mike Pereira, what did you see on that play?
Yeah, it really falls into the category of targeting because you have a defenseless player. When he starts to break down, he becomes defenseless. The question was it forcible or not? The replay didn't think it was forcible, so therefore they let it pass.
Yeah, that's the question of forcible contact. Mike, can I ask you real fast, like, what do you look for to make it forcible contact in your experience?
Well, I mean, you look at it at real time and in slow motion, and you want to see the head really get jarred. I mean, I would say this. When targeting first came in, this was clearly targeting. But throughout the years, they've kind of taken a looser approach to this, and so they look for more forcible contact, more flagrant type of contact, and I kind of agree. It's a little iffy, and if it's iffy, they can't confirm it, then they're going to let it go.
Mike, thank you for the clarification. Mason Murphy just moved early there.
Ball start, offense number 76. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Mike, is there any conversation that you can explain to the viewers at home of when the defender is already in the act of going to make the tackle before the quarterback gives himself up? Does that have any implication on the targeting or not being targeting?
As you know, RG3, it's tough to play defense, and especially in this game where the quarterback is down or the runner's down when he starts to break down. So it really even makes it more difficult. But the onus is on the defensive player to recognize it unless it's really late, and I really don't think we had that here.
Remains first down.
Mike, thank you for that. I'd ask you for clarification on the false starts, but those two have been very obvious. So we'll let you go. Enjoy your dinner. Back-to-back false starts, and the Baylor crowd getting involved here.
Yeah, they say the capacity is like 45,000. Feels like there's 50,000 people in here in the blackout, and they're using this home field advantage to their advantage. Jackson Arnold has to get control of the moment and get his team more locked in.
Play clock winding down. He will hand it off to try to get some of the yardage back, and he is stonewalled. Jeremiah Cobb hit by Phoenix Jackson, the former walk-on at Fresno State, along with Thomas. And boy, that non-targeting is huge, so Thomas can stay in.
Yeah, it is huge. And now you're sitting here in 2nd and 15. There's not many play calls for 2nd and 15.
Arnold's going to try to let it rip, and he's got it. Malcolm Simmons inside the 40-yard line, gain of 26.
Simple but beautiful. You're going to watch a seam throw. Token fake to the running back, throw the seam. You don't always have to throw it all the way down the field. You just got to put it on your receiver. Beautiful job there by Jackson Arnold.
Hugh Freeze in this offense leans into tempo on made first downs. It's Jeremiah Cobb bullying his way across the 30.
And although they started the drive off with that 1st and 20, now you've had a big run to get the first down by Jackson Arnold, a big throw, and now he feels settled in this game as a quarterback.
Hugh Freeze said to us, if I can get him to start 3 for 5, I'd be pretty happy. He'd take 2 for 4. He's one short. And the run game now thundering forward for the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, run game is a quarterback's best friend. It allows you to know that all of the pressure isn't on you. But as we talked about with Hugh Freeze, Jackson Arnold's confidence, being a transfer from Oklahoma where he was benched the year before, for him to come out and just see the ball completed 3 to 4 times in his first 6 to 7 throws is enough to take his confidence through the stratosphere.
He's now got Eric Singleton in the backfield with him, the transfer from Georgia Tech, who has not seen the ball yet. It's a run for Arnold. Oh, he bided his time, and he is in the end zone. What patience from Jackson Arnold for an Auburn touchdown.
What a play right there, and what a call by Hugh Freeze. You're going to see Eric Singleton come around. The back is going to come down and then block for Jackson Arnold. They want to throw this to Singleton, but everybody goes. And if everybody goes, I knows where to get into the end zone. Jackson Arnold showing you those legs and his dynamic playmaking ability. Woo, what a play.
He told us this week he loves controlling the outcomes. He just did right there, and now Alex McPherson. If you missed it early in the game, Alexa reporting on McPherson, who is playing after a surgery to remove his large intestine. He was in the hospital on Christmas in December. He is back dealing with ulcerative colitis. He wanted to play football for this Auburn team, trying to announce itself.
Yes, they are. And right there, Jackson Arnold announced himself to this Baylor crowd and all of college football. I am the baller that I've always been.
He was the best player in high school football, coming out of Denton Guyer, about 2 hours away, door to door from here in Waco. Cole Wilson on the return, and he had some space. Auburn did close the door at the 35-yard line. What do you like from Jackson Arnold so far?
Yeah, I mean, right here you've seen him. He's breaking tackles. He's not afraid to put his body on the line for his team, even though he was smart there. Hey, you get thrown around, what do? You get back up, you break 2 arm tackles, and then the touchdown at the very end was just the epitome of what this guy has to do. Be decisive. If you're going to make the throw, put it on him. If you're going to run, put your foot down. And you see the excitement. You should have seen the guys celebrating with him when he came off the field. It was like, yes, this guy can lead us to where we want to go.
Confidence is such an important thing in college football, especially on the road. Sawyer Robertson, a handoff, and that goes right into the middle of the defense. Atkins was there first on the run for Washington.
Hopefully we can do better on those the rest of the game, but good to see Jackson moving the chains for sure.
Gaining some confidence from there. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
That is the most downtrodden 7-3 interview with the lead that you'll hear. It is a sack for Chris Murray for Auburn coming around the corner.
Yes, right here, Chris Murray is coming off the edge, and this is what relentless pursuit looks like. You don't win off, hey, push the lineman into the quarterback, and if he doesn't escape, go and get you one of those sacks right there. Beautiful job by him, and also Williams there off of the other edge.
Yeah, Marnus Williams, a sophomore out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, was in first. Robertson immediately rolls out, and he throws it behind Washington. Champ Anthony was there. That's a big hit on Washington, who is down, and boy, they cannot afford to lose him with the injury to Dawson Pendergrass in camp, a foot injury. They were supposed to be the two backs. Here's a hit.
Yeah, you're going to see balls behind him. Champ Anthony comes in. Oh, gives him the shoulder shiver right in the back. Oh, I could feel that up here.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great.
That does not feel great, but to your point, Jason, if they lose Bryson Washington, it feels like the game then becomes all on Sawyer Robertson's arm, and that is not something that Baylor wants. Not because Sawyer can't do it, but that's not when this team is at its best.
There is Palmer Williams, who is a major weapon for Baylor, nearly 50 yards a punt last year, and he can really flip the field. Auburn will have it. We'll see where they mark it across the 25. Since the moment it was announced, everybody's had this matchup circled. The Arch Manning era dawns. It's a playoff rematch for the ages. Texas, Ohio State, two top 3 teams on Big Noon Saturday. Coverage begins with Big Noon kickoff live from Columbus, 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow on Fox. Your first thoughts on these two dynamite programs?
Just the Heisman. I know it seems shocking to you that I would bring up the Heisman Trophy.
Totally taken aback.
But having Arch Manning, who's the Heisman favorite, Jeremiah Smith, who's another one of the favorites, they're going to get to show who the better team is and who's ready to ball right now.
Arnold felt the pressure, drops it off. It's a line drive, and it is caught by Horatio Fields, the transfer from Wake Forest. Very reliable hands, has become a leader quickly in a gain of 8.
Horatio Fields is a guy that came in from Wake Forest. No one expected him to become a starter, but he actually has become the leader of that group. Hugh Freeze raves about how he has set the tone for those young guys.
They'll run it with Alston, and he has the first down. Downstairs, Alexa on the injured Jackie Marshall.
Yeah, huge loss for the Baylor defense. He went out on that last Auburn drive, and he's on the Baylor sideline, shaking his head at his teammates, shaking his head to the trainers. Doesn't look like he will return. I'll wait to get more of an update, but looks like Jackie Marshall will not return for the Baylor Bears.
And that is a 5th-year player, and he has been in so many ways the heart and soul of a lot of guys who've come back to make this season special.
Correct. One of those guys is number 11, Keaton Thomas, who said that Jackie Marshall is the guy that he looks up to.
Motion again from Singleton, springing Arnold again. Twice they've gone with the motion, twice he hasn't seen the ball, twice they've hit a big play.
Yeah, I mean, you just watch the entire defense overplay the motion because they're aware of how dynamic Eric Singleton Jr. is. But right there, Jackson Arnold made his right read. Yes, the running game is working for him, but it's because he's making the right decisions, and I think that's important to point out.
Also important, maybe Singleton sees it on a play later. Setup?
100% a setup.
Alston in motion this time. Arnold steps up, climbing the pocket again. Jackson Arnold is free again, and he slides seamlessly and suavely for 17.
Oh my goodness, he's gonna step up, go back, and then boom, shoot the gap, all with his eyes down the field. This is when the quarterback run can be the most effective, is when the guy who has the ball in his hands isn't looking to run, he's reacting to run, Jason, and that's exactly what Arnold just did.
You can tell his confidence through the roof right now, can't you?
Oh, my Lord. He's relying on that elite trait. Now let's see if he can put it together with that elite arm that he has.
Motion again from Singleton. Here he is on a touch. Boy, Hugh Freeze has layers, right? He's like a wedding cake.
He does have layers. I love that reference, by the way. You called it. Eric Singleton Jr. comes in motion the first time. Hey, the read isn't to give it to him, so Jackson runs down the middle. They come back with the same exact play. Baylor recognizes it. They try to take away Jackson, who's been hurting them, and now Singleton gets the ball. I can tell you right now, with Dave Aranda and any defensive coordinator in the country, they hate when quarterbacks get rushing yards on them.
There are no answers that aren't a trade-off somewhere else, right? It's Alston picking his way. Another patient run, and 1st and goal for Auburn. Leaning on Baylor. He got all the way to the safety, Bobby.
Yeah, you see the tough run. Watch in between. Hey, 1 cut, 2 cuts, get vertical, run through contact. Man, Damari Alston, I don't know if you noticed this, but right there in the backfield, he kind of looked like he was standing like Ashton Genty. Ooh. But you can see the hands on the hips of the Baylor defensive linemen. The tempo and the amount of plays they're on the field is starting to get to him.
Into the red zone, Auburn very quickly down to the 1 and in. Alston stages a tractor pull for a Tiger touchdown. The red zone was such a problem last year. This is just toughness in.
Yes. What a run right there, but what a blocking scheme. They're going to bring these guys across, and you're going to watch Keaton Thomas right here in the middle. He shoots the wrong gap and leaves a massive void in the middle of the defense. Sometimes being aggressive as a linebacker can play against you, and right there for Keaton Thomas, it did.
Damari Alston said during the week, he's been talking to himself at home, dreaming of this stage. Big games for the Auburn Tigers after 4 straight losing seasons. Looks like they've fixed the red zone with 6 straight runs on the way in on that drive, RG3.
6 straight runs. Hey, if it's working, you don't got to go away from it. Sometimes you got to get out there and play bully ball. And right now, the Tigers are on the prowl. The outside with some of the best receivers in the country.
Next time Auburn has it, we'll see what sort of potion Hugh Freeze concocts for that. For now, Baylor will get it back, needing a score because Auburn has it out of halftime. So if you're Sawyer Robertson and Baylor, what are you looking to do right now?
Well, to be quite honest, they're getting bullied right now by this Auburn Tigers team. So you want to come out and establish your own running game. And outside of that, they got to get the ball to Josh Cameron.
Yep.
He hasn't touched it. Yes, they've targeted Michael Trigg, and Cole Wilson has had a couple big catches here, but they got to get their guy who is really the leader of that receiver room rolling so he feels a part of the game.
He's down at the bottom of the formation there, matched up with Rayshawn Pleasant, the transfer from Tulane. Baylor from the 25. Over the middle, Robertson gets a completion for the first down to Ashton Hawkins, the redshirt senior from DeSoto, the power in this state, gain of 12.
And we talked about that escape motion by the back. Well, they did it again. This time they ran a concept off of it, constantly playing the game of chess, giving them the same looks but different plays.
It's the freshman Knighton trying door number 1, and he is shoved back. He'll get to the 40.5. Ooh, little post-play shenanigans. Sylvester Smith and Caden Knighton. College football is back. Tell you what, DJ Durkin has had a great plan so far, the defensive coordinator for the Auburn Tigers. And they didn't really see a whole lot of like spread, air raid type stuff last year.
They didn't, but you get these type of teams off the field when you put them in bad down and distances because they run fast plays, which means they're off the field fast.
Another nice block from Trigg in motion, but it's just 3 for Knighton. Winters, the freshman safety, got in for Auburn. 3rd and 3 and maybe 2 downs to get 3.
100%, Jason. I would anticipate that they're going to try to run the football once again because you have the luxury of that. You're right around midfield. They've been good on 4th downs, especially last season. So if the defense of Auburn covers down to the outside like they are right now, can you get those tough yards inside?
Robertson to throw. One-on-one shot down the field. Incomplete for Lewis Brown, the 4th. The coverage from Kay and Lee, and these corners are pretty talented.
Look at Kay and Lee. He has his eyes on one person, and it's Lewis Brown, the 4th. Gets his eyes back. Yeah, there's some hand fighting there, but at the end of the day, that is not a penalty. Sawyer needed to put that ball a little bit closer to the receiver, but this is what happens when you take shots on 3rd and short. It puts you in a situation where on 4th and 3, you don't really have that same run-pass option.
An early gotta have it for Baylor. 8:50 in the 2nd. Hawkins in motion. Robertson feeling the heat. Rolling to his right. Got to throw. There's a marker and it's incomplete for now. Auburn gets a stop.
Normally when you see those flags with the quarterback breaking the pocket, it's holding on the offense, and I think that's going to be holding on Colton Price.
Holding, offense number 72. That penalty is declined. Result of play is a 1st down, Auburn.
Big counter punch by the Tigers.
Colton Price is right here in the middle of your screen. Watch Sawyer Robertson look to the left, step up to the right, and as soon as he exits, you see that jersey pull. Refs are alerted to see that. It lets them know that that was a hold by the offense. It's a problem with scrambling quarterbacks. The offensive lineman just has to let him go.
That was Jordan Crawford that created that penalty. We saw Winters, the freshman from the state of Alabama, with coverage earlier. We see the freshman Crawford there. Auburn really believes in these young guys, and that's part of the rotation idea. If you're looking forward in the SEC season for an Auburn team that's trying to climb the hill, those freshmen are going to be a big part of it.
100%, JB. They talked to us in the meetings this week, whether it was DJ Durkin or even Hugh Freeze. They talked to us about how they're going to play about 9,000 people on defense because they believe in this young freshman class. But the reason that it's been able to set them apart is because of their upperclassmen don't have any selfishness about them. They understand they need these young guys over the long haul of this season when injuries happen, so they're supporting each other through all of this, and that's what makes a great team.
Can I double back to one thing you said a moment ago? Why do you running quarterbacks make it so difficult for the offensive linemen?
It's a blessing and a curse, right? We can get the offensive linemen out of certain situations when they get beat. We can make them look good, but we can also make them look bad. And I think it's just that balancing act of knowing, hey, if the D lineman is trying to escape backwards or to the side, usually that means the quarterback is coming. Run your feet. We always talk about run your feet with those hands inside as an offensive lineman instead of reaching and grabbing.
8:43 here in the first half. You said off the top in Three's keys, don't drop the mic.
Yeah.
Don't make mistakes. They settled for a field goal. Baylor did. Stopped on downs a couple of times. No turnovers to speak of, but turnovers on downs are pretty much the same.
Exactly. And listen, it's 14-3. They still have an opportunity to be in this game, but now you're going to need your defense to step up big because Auburn also gets the ball after the half.
Cobb, the tailback, skating across the 40-yard line. There's Keaton Thomas again, and talking to that young man over the course of the week, we spent about 20 minutes with him. I mean, he is obsessed with football.
He is obsessed, and I know the one thing that you love is the fact that this guy was talking about his time in JUCO and how he was looking at the wall and he was one step away from never playing football again and one step away from changing his life forever. He has changed his life forever, and that's why I think he loves this game so much.
He's been the guy now with the green dot on that defense. The communicator is Singleton's got another run, and you see the weaponry and the versatility of it on a first down for Auburn.
And for Singleton, when you watch his tape, he just moves at a different speed than everybody else. And he's not even 100%. But look at the fighting that's going. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Hey, man, that man should be in Hollywood. Did you see that?
You don't think that was real?
It was real fake.
It's Preston Howard. Kendrick Simpkins entangled with him. Motion from Simmons. Arnold loads it up down the field. Got his man Coleman. Cam Coleman high points it. Gain of 23. First and goal.
I told you guys, whenever they start running the football effectively, you got to bring that extra defender. Coleman is going to go here, push vertical, and then get across the formation. Watch how many guys he runs by because of that man coverage. Great air on the ball right there by Jackson Arnold, giving Cam Coleman an opportunity to adjust to the throw. Right now, Hugh Freeze is in his bag.
Yeah, he is.
He is in his bag as a play caller, and Jackson Arnold is certainly feeling himself.
That's why you get wide receivers who go to basketball state title games, like Cam Coleman. And he can go get you a rebound. It's another throw. He wants Coleman, who tried to one-hand rip it. LeVar Thornton was stapled to him, second down.
Yeah, just a nice token fake from the quarterback. And watch Cam Coleman press, get outside, get his eyes back, knowing the back shoulder is coming. And right there, he went for the highlight reel catch. He tried to be OBJ. He could have got both hands back, but for Jackson as a quarterback, take a little bit of mustard off of that. Okay, too much mustard on that.
How much off?
You know, it's like
one squeeze, two squeezes?
He had like 5 squeezes right there. He needed to go to 2, 100%.
Second and goal. We'll see if he adjusts. Cobb is the tailback, and he runs straight ahead for nothing. Third and goal. And this is where Hugh Freeze goes into the transfer portal. He said to us, like, I got Singleton in part. We asked him, red zone stuff, part of the reason you go get a receiver like that? He said, sure. We need to be better in the red zone. And you see the first one is a shot to Coleman.
Yeah, he honestly told us, I might take 3 shots in a row to Coleman.
That's right.
Because these are opportunities for these wide receivers to win those one-on-one matchups. And right now, Baylor's giving them that one-on-one once again with Tevin Williams in press coverage and nobody over the top. So do they take another shot here? Or are they also thinking 4-down territory and maybe they get a run in?
There is Singleton in motion. It's a rollout. It's a throw for Frazier, the tight end. Now with that play call, let's see if they do go ahead, especially getting the ball on a halftime and try to punch this thing in.
100%. Your quarterback is feeling good on the move. So they put him on the move and get a nice, easy completion. But right here, I do believe this is the right decision for Hugh Freeze. Take the points. Your offense is rolling. Don't give Baylor an opportunity to feel like they've gained some momentum by stopping you by going for it on 4th and goal.
The counter to that is you do allow them to stay in a 2-possession game.
That's true.
Field goal is good for McPherson. What a day for him. 17-3. McPherson makes it a 14-point lead. But now I actually have to be funny, which is a problem.
Baylor needs a score. Down 2 touchdowns. This is over the middle. The intermediate stuff to Wilson. He shakes by 1. He's got the 40, and he tight ropes all the way across the 41-yard line.
Just a nice job here by Sawyer Robinson, bringing the motion, snapping it while Cole Wilson was still on the move, and he's having himself a day already with 83 yards receiving on 3 catches.
Washington squeezes through, and Washington picks up a 7-10 split that ended with the 8-pin Caleb Harris first down.
Jason, all it takes is one. That is Baylor's motto right now. All it takes is one guy to make a play. Be the guy that makes that play and show everybody that it's possible. It's been Cole Wilson today, and now Bryson Washington gets him going.
It's a screen. It's Wilson again. Cole Wilson has a nice chunk, 7.5 on first down. Baylor is cooking really for the first time.
Yeah, and Jake Spavital is saying, you know what, I got one guy on the field right now that I know is making plays. I'm going to keep feeding him. Let's keep going that way. And Sawyer's doing a good job getting him the ball.
Right back there, Wilson again. You asked Sawyer Robertson during our meeting with him, like, how do you handle it? You got all these weapons. And he said, hot hand.
Yes. And you have to think about it from a quarterback's perspective. I got one-on-ones, I got screens, I got decisions to make. Who is making plays on the field right now? They have identified that as Cole Wilson, and Sawyer is getting to plays to make sure that he continually touches the ball.
Now Wilson with the motion behind Robertson. Fake it there, throw it this way, into traffic, and Trigg at the sideline. Oh boy, dangerous throw.
Yeah, that was a dangerous throw. You see all these sweeping ghost motions behind the quarterback, and watch how close this is. Champ Anthony almost gets it. Trigg, yes, he gets hit right there, but Jaquez Robinson knocks the ball out. But for receivers, we always say if it touches your hands or your body, you got to come down with it.
Well, you all say that. They don't necessarily say that. Here's a run for Washington, and he'll pick up 2. It'll be 3rd down and 8 with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
It's funny you say that because they really don't.
I know.
The receivers don't say that, but they honor us by doing the push-ups if they drop it. Our job is to get them a better ball so they're not getting run over by the defense.
What's a good ball here from Sawyer Robertson and a good call from Spavital?
I like this one-on-one matchup down here to the bottom of your screen with Josh Cameron. Find a way to get him the ball switch release.
He has not seen the ball yet today. He'll go the other way. High in the air, knocked around, and incomplete. He wanted Ashton Hawkins. That straighter, the transfer from Miami, Ohio. And boy, the depth of this Auburn secondary really showing itself. Now, 4th and 9. You going?
4th and 9, down 14, 2 scores. You bet your sweetheart points I am. I'm going for it right here. Why? Baylor, you have to show trust in your quarterback and your playmakers at wide receiver. Look for Sawyer Robinson's legs to be a factor here as well if Auburn does cover down.
Cameron down there with Crawford, maybe Auburn's best corner. Up high, Robertson got a free runner, touchdown! Kobe Prentice, 33 yards. He played against Auburn in 3 Iron Bowls, and he burns them on 4th down with a Big 12 team.
This is very simple. He's going to run at the backer and then get vertical right down the seam. All of these defenders have their eyes on the quarterback as if he's going to run. They must have been listening to me up in the booth. And Kobe Prentice wide open for 6. Talk about a swing of momentum for the Baylor Bears. Oh, why are they going for it on 4th and 9? This is not the right decision. Boom. It was the right decision.
What a game changer. Auburn fans are like, again with Kobe. Say it right for his parents. He says, Mom can't watch the games. Dad sits at the very top of the stadium with AirPods in. So here we go.
His mama called him Sawyer, so I'm going to call him Sawyer.
That's exactly right. Jackson Arnold, the transfer from Auburn, has him into the end zone twice. Notable successful transfers, Bo Nix included, Auburn fans know, but Jaden Daniels, all these guys, a lot of them ended up in the league, RG3.
Yes, they did, and every single one of them is a starter except for Dylan Gabriel, and who knows when he might get his shot this season. But that new scenery, new coaching, finding the system that is best for them paid off, and that's exactly what it looks like it's doing for Jackson Arnold right now after having, this is his 4th offensive system in 3 years in college football. That's tough to develop, but right now he looks like he's playing with a lot of confidence.
Throwing Casey Mize fastballs for Auburn so far, leading 17-10. Arnold right down the middle, got the tight end Frazier. That's a gain of 9. And oh boy, post play, big scramble for it. Let's see, the ball was loose. We'll see what the officials say as they unpack it. Baylor has the football. The question is this a recovery of a fumble for Phoenix Jackson? Hugh Freeze is like, what is going on? Did anybody blow a whistle? That's what Hugh Freeze wants to know.
Yeah, for the first couple looks, it looks like it was caused by the ground, and the ground can't cause a fumble.
Really on the field, it's a completed pass that was fumbled by the receiver, recovered by the defense. First down.
Wow, it is Baylor football. Auburn -9 in turnover margin last year. We'll see if this stands.
And now we got to check and see if he was down before the ball came out. So look at the knee, look at the ball. He's down, guys. That is definitely going to get overturned. Like I said before, the ground can't cause a fumble. As soon as that knee touches the ground, play is over. So a little premature celebration there by the Baylor sideline. But
a fumble recovered by the defense is under video review. Timeout.
Yeah, if that knee is down, ankle is one thing, but if the knee is down, the leg proper is down, you are down.
Yeah, and you see, he goes here, he covers with two hands like you're coached to do. They try to knock it out, but right there, knee is down, elbow goes down, then the ball comes out. It'll be Auburn ball.
And again, we would say the ball can move very slightly. It didn't even move. Mike, what do you see here?
I think that it's so good to have Robert here that he's already on top of things with us. So he's absolutely right. To me, the knee is down. He's got control, and that's the issue. As you'll see here, the knee's down. You see the laces of the ball. There's no movement at all, and it doesn't pop until that elbow hits. So he's down. To me, it's going to be reversed to the runner being down. It's going to be 2nd and 1, and Auburn will retain the ball.
After video review, the runner was down with possession of the ball at the 34-yard line. It's 2nd down, Auburn.
Well done. Well officiated. Auburn will keep it, and Phoenix Jackson won't have that enormous turnover for Baylor.
You know, it's kind of funny. When we were talking to the defensive coordinator for Auburn, DJ Durkin, he said something that kind of really resonated with me for all offenses and all defenses. Turnovers is a mindset.
Yeah.
Right there, Baylor tried to make a special play to do a takeaway as opposed to it being a turnover, which is something that the offense just kind of gives to you. Baylor has to keep that mindset.
It's a run for Alston, and he navigates through traffic again. He gets dumped by one leg. Tyler Turner with the hit, but DJ Durkin, the way he said it, was like, we have to actively try to get the football, make plays on the ball, and Baylor did there.
Yeah, it's like on offense, the only way you can score is if you're trying to score. So on defense, your mindset has to be the only way that we can get takeaways and turnovers is if we're trying to get shots on the ball, making a play on the ball when it's in the air in the secondary, punching the ball out when we're on defense going to tackle the runner. And I know Baylor's on defense right now, but it really applies to all defensive philosophy.
Simmons, the motion man. Arnold has time. Now the pocket collapses. He is flushed, and he will run out of bounds. Interesting, Auburn taking some time before the snap there, maybe trying to play keep away with Baylor, who does have 3 timeouts. Both teams do.
Yeah, if you're Hugh Freeze, you're saying to yourself, my team is rolling. Yes, we're utilizing tempo, but if you guys at home can recognize the tempo between Auburn and Baylor isn't the same, and we'll talk more about that when we get back.
After the 2-minute timeout, you saw Auburn 22 run plays so far to a 17-10 lead in Waco. Second down. Here is Arnold. Quarterback run for Auburn. To the outside and a first down. And a marker comes in late, very late. Back at the 47. It's a gain of 15 if it sticks. Dave Aranda said this week to us, we need to make Jackson Arnold introspective. Stop and think. Be internal. He has been outwardly confident all night long.
During the run, holding, offense number 3.
Wow.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat second down.
It's on the receiver, Perry Thompson.
Yeah, you're going to see Perry Thompson. It's the same thing that happened to the offensive lineman. When you grab the outside of the shoulder pads and start to run your feet, and then that turn right there, once Jackson Arnold is past him, is why they called holding on him. I love the aggression by Perry Thompson right there. You want to block for your quarterback, and good runs become great runs when your outside receivers block down the field. He's just got to be a little bit smarter about where his hands are.
With that being a spot foul, they're back at the 43, 2nd and 6. Arnold wanted to shuttle that away for Alston. Instead, he'll double back and skate free again. Jackson Arnold in space puts his head down, and it looks like he's just short of the line to gain. Turner was closest. It'll be 3rd and 1. What a run.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to escape this way, come back the other way. Who's this guy think he is? Cam Newton? Nice broken tackle. He is not afraid to use his legs, and this was something that Hugh Freeze talked to us about in our meetings. Hey, we don't know, like, how mobile is he going to be? How many of these runs and these broken tackles is he going to get out of? Right now, he is really relying on his legs to make plays for this Auburn offense.
See all the rush yards they have piled up today. Alston right up the zipper, and that is an Auburn first down. They are shoving their way forward. And talking to Derek Nix, the offensive coordinator for Auburn, he was like, and Hugh Freeze said it too, we just want to see that push from the offensive line. We want to see that drive, and it has been there.
Yeah, it has, and we talked about this. Hey, it's 4-down territory. They're near midfield. 3rd and 3, why not run the dive? Your offensive line is really creating holes, and you see Derek Nix up there. He's in the calm environment of the press box, but he's seeing everything clearly.
Great running back in his own right. Free runner here, and Arnold gets hit. That's a free football. It's down on the ground, punched away, and eventually Auburn is on it with Jeremiah Cobb inside the 40-yard line. Kendrick Simpkins dislodged it and turned it into a pinball.
Holy cow. What a play. Simpkins, you're going to see him come from right outside the screen.
Backward pass recovered by the offense, resulting in 2nd down. Timeout Baylor.
That's a backward pass.
It's 30 seconds in late.
Yes, it is a backwards pass. You see him. He's not ready for this. He tries to step and make the throw, and then it goes behind him. So really nice job there by Preston Howard, focusing on trying to get to the ball, because if they didn't, Baylor's definitely picking that one up.
It's a loss of 14, but it could have been so much more.
Coming up next, the Liberty Mutual Insurance Friday halftime show. Baylor has life. The crowd awakened. 2nd and forever for Auburn. Arnold, another free runner. He gets away from Jackson. He rolls and throws it out of bounds. Discretion, the better part of valor. No grounding. It got back to the line of scrimmage and beyond, but there's Jackson again.
Yeah, right here. It's coming right down the middle of your screen. There's going to be a huge void. And listen, Phoenix Jackson, they said they're going to blitz him a lot, and he's going to play a lot. They are forcing Jackson Arnold to run for his life on almost every single play. It has worked for Auburn so far, but at some point you wonder, is it going to start to wear down the quarterback if every time he drops back, he has a defender, a free defender right in his face?
It is very hot here. Fatigue could be a factor for both teams as we go down the stretch of this game. Baylor has 2 timeouts, and Auburn will bleed one of those dry. It's a tackle by Thornton on 3rd down. We'll see as Dave Aranda calls the timeout. 47 seconds to go in the first half. We'll step aside, back in a moment. Baylor should get it back after this. Dave Aranda lives on the margins on 4th down calls and creating opportunity for his team.
Yes, he does, man.
He did that tonight. 4th and 9 touchdown.
He's making, I wouldn't say risky calls, but calculated risk in moments that he knows that the quarterback is not ready for.
There's a flag down on this punt. Cameron back to receive it with a man at his feet, and he's crowded out. That is going to be kick-catch interference against the Auburn Tigers. There are 2 flags down on the play. It was the long snapper, Reed Hughes, who was in his personal bubble. We'll see about the 2 penalties.
2 fouls by the kicking team. The illegal formation. Offense number 8 lined up in the backfield. That penalty is declined. Interference with the opportunity to catch the kick. Kicking team. That penalty is 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Baylor.
Enormous penalty.
Yeah, enormous penalty, especially with the clock running down. You got to be able to control yourself. He slips and hits him, and as you said, Jason, he is inside of his personal bubble. You cannot be inside of his personal bubble when he's going to catch the punt.
It's too hot for that. It's 90 degrees. and he is getting lit up over on the sideline. That's the long snapper, and you appreciate the effort, but it's 15 yards that they just could not afford. Baylor has a timeout. Remember, Auburn gets the ball out of halftime, but an opportunity knocking for the Bears. Sawyer Robertson on a 5-man rush. He'll throw it to the far sideline. Incomplete. The crowd wanted a flag against Pleasant. Second down. Brown the intended target.
And you called Rayshon Pleasant's name for the first time. This is a guy that Hugh Freeze spoke to us about, and even DJ Durkin said, hey, this guy, they're going to know his name by the end of the season. Maybe not always as a corner, but also as a returner. So to see him playing so tight in coverage right there is showing you his evolution as a player.
He's lined up with Brown again. You saw Trigg over there, the tight end, separated from the formation. Pressure coming, and Robertson is down. He's swarmed under by Keyron Crawford, the senior from Memphis.
Oh, yeah. Keyron Crawford, they're going to run a game here with the defensive end and the defensive tackle. Boom, go inside, go outside, skinny through. And right there, Sawyer just has to be a little bit stronger in the pocket because Keyron only got one hand on him. But, hey, that paw was enough to bring him down.
Yes, it was. You got to worry about Falk there as well. Crawford gets there. Timeout Baylor. The NFL regular season kicks off on Fox September 7th. The Giants take on reigning offensive rookie of the year, Jaden Daniels in Washington. Quarterback for Washington having a good rookie year. Interesting. Niners take on the Seahawks as well, or other regional action. The NFL is back September 7th on Fox. Auburn and Baylor here. Alexa, would you call this the Jarrett Stidham Bowl?
That's what people are calling it. When you're prepping for this game, that was a name that kept popping up. I chatted with him earlier today. He told me it's really cool to have his two former schools playing each other. He's got great memories from both. He met his wife, he met his best friend at Baylor, but he's got his best football memories at Auburn. He said he's watching with fellow Broncos quarterback Bo Nix. They're cheering on the Tigers, if you're wondering who he's rooting for here tonight.
Oh, he's got Bo with him. The whole Bronco QB room is watching tonight. Bo Nix had that memorable opener back in 2019 against his future team. Robertson snaps it off. Trigg keeps his feet. Trigg to the outside. Got a block from Washington. He is out of bounds before the line to gain. And now let's see exactly how hot the dice feel for Dave Aranda.
21 seconds. It'll start on the snap.
It's 4th and 3 from their own territory. You're welcome. This is Auburn does get the ball on a halftime here. That changes the calculus.
It does change the calculus, and if you're Dave Aranda here, you would certainly want to punt this ball. It's showing extreme confidence in your offense and maybe even some confidence in your defense after getting a big stop on the last possession.
See if they snap it. They do. 4th and 3. Here we go. Robertson. Incomplete. There's a marker down. Pleasant got his hands on it. Let's see what the penalty is.
It's pass interference on Rayshon Pleasant, 100%.
Holding. Defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Includes an automatic first down.
That's pressure put on by Dave Aranda and Baylor.
You're going to see him right here lined up outside on Lewis Brown IV. He wins off the line, and then he gets in his hip pocket, and right there when he sits down to run the curl, he just is hugging that man like he owes him money. So that sometimes as DBs, they get upset with some of the holding calls and some of the pass interference calls, but right there I think even Rayshon knew, yeah, you got me.
First down, Auburn territory. Baylor, Hail Mary, sideline. Too much for Wilson. Boy, Baylor's had enough Hail Marys for a lifetime in the last 2 years.
Yeah, this is another box fade throw. Cole Wilson caught a big one of these earlier in the game. Right here, it's just a little bit too far for him. He can feel that safety coming there as well. Sawyer has to do a better job of putting that ball on his back shoulder so he can protect himself from that front side hit.
You have a chance to get the ball to the sideline once. Auburn's going to use a timeout here to talk it over.
Auburn has called a 30-second timeout as the first of the half.
Baylor within 7, 8 seconds to go, second quarter. This is a great scene here in Waco, and this place has become Dave Aranda to be like a carpenter.
Right.
He is a cerebral guy. He's a thoughtful guy, but he is a fixer-upper guy as well.
He is a fixer-upper guy, and he is the last of his kind. He told me in our meetings that the songs, what he listens to before the game is the movie soundtrack to the last of the Mohicans.
Amazing.
So I don't think I've ever seen him smile like that in real life.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
It takes evidently some work with your hands. Second down and 10, 8 seconds to go. Dave's gonna love that. Robertson throws it down the middle, incomplete for Trigg, who had broken away from the Auburn coverage, and Robinson. Oof.
Oh, it's such a great route across the middle. He's going to inside release and get here to the middle of the field. He's got man on, pressure stays strong, and it's just make that catch, and he's off to the races. And you're probably wondering at home, well, why would they throw the ball across the middle with 8 seconds? Well, in this situation, you tell your receiver to catch and get down. That way, the first down stops the clock, and you can get your team out there to kick a field goal.
Quick hitter, got it to Brown. Very athletic. Brown gets to the 30, and that's all. So Baylor does finish the half on a drive. They bog down, and we'll see if Baylor can flip this house.
Catch and run, and the receivers deep down the field are winning the one-on-ones right now. They got to find a way to make plays.
Auburn will get the first crack at the offense here in the second half as we go downstairs to Alexa.
Yeah, hey, I got to catch up with both coaches heading into the half. Typical coach speak. Hugh Freeze told me those penalties at the first half absolutely killed us. We cannot keep giving those up. We got to stay disciplined. We're a tough group. And for Dave Aranda, he gave us the quote he told us all week long. It takes one. That was his message to his guys in the locker room. We got to gain some momentum. He also mentioned we got to get a takeaway. That's going to be a little bit tougher, though, right now. Jackie Marshall is out. He returned this second half, but in a boot, he will be on the sideline, guys.
The it takes one in our meeting was followed by a discussion of penguins jumping off of an ice cliff into some water, because it just takes one person to decide to take the plunge.
Only Dave Aranda could pull off that analogy.
Honestly, he's a wonderful guy. The players believe in him. And I don't know, I personally love the uniqueness and that he is himself. It's really valuable in life.
It is valuable in life, and we talked to him about that. How do you come into a situation where the world is judging you all the time? There might be people at home right now that don't feel comfortable in their own skin. Dave Aranda is comfortable with who he is, what he likes to do, and his players love him for it.
On a run, right up the middle, Alston crashing forward again. To the 38, first down, Auburn, right back to the ground, Robert.
Yeah, right back to the ground and right back to pulling guys to get in front. They pull the guard, they bring the tight end backside just to delay the contact and give the back an opportunity to use his patience to work through the defense. Just amazing run blocking going on right now by this Auburn offense.
They've run for 6 yards a carry, and that was a little bit extra for Alston, who just thundered into Keaton Thomas.
Yeah, Damari Alston is sticking to that name that they gave him, a Thunder. You can just hear his pads crack when he's hitting some of these guys. Even if it's 2 to 3 yards in a cloud of dust, it still has an impact on the defensive guys who know every single time I got to step up to this guy with a little mini neck roll and bring my shoulder pads with me.
Love the mini neck roll. Week 1 of college football. Second down and 7 for Jackson Arnold, the transfer from Oklahoma. Play action. He'll peel away again. Arnold has a first down, and he wants more. He dances outside and finally gets wrangled by Tyler Turner. It's a gain of 9.
Yeah, here, just a true, looks like a designated run. He's going to take his eyes here on the play after the play action, but he's running quickly, guys. It's like one read and go. They're not running many deep concepts or have an opportunity to hit some of these shots down the field because Baylor is playing a shell defense to protect from those shots. But Jackson Arnold is running for his life right now in a good way.
Absolutely. He's choosing to. This is a run for Cobb. And Cobb to the 44. Jackson Arnold out of Denton Guyer High School. He was a Wildcat. He became the best high school player his year out of high school. He ended up at Oklahoma in part because Lincoln Riley left for USC, freeing up the opportunity. Jeff Levy, who he had talked to during the recruitment the first time, became the offensive coordinator there. Little did he know all of that movement would then be a part of his time at Oklahoma as well.
Yeah, he was caught off guard, but he has adjusted and found the right situation for him, is what it looks like.
He heaves this down the sideline, and incomplete for Simmons. Tevin Williams stuck to him.
We talk about these pulling guys. They've done it in 3 plays in a row. Then they work the shot down the field. So there's the play action, and on this throw, Jackson just has to put it a little bit further in front of Malcolm Simmons so he can run underneath this. But great coverage by Tevin Williams, getting his eyes back and making it a blur drill for the receiver who never saw that ball go through his hands.
The 5th-year Baylor Bear with the coverage. 3rd down and 4. We'll see if this is 2-down territory if Auburn needs it. Arnold, short set in the pocket. He'll throw. It is batted, and it is incomplete. Caden Jenkins, the junior 3rd-year defensive back for Baylor, got a hand in 4th down.
Caden Jenkins knows that he has help over the top, so he's going to stick here as a cloud corner. So when they run this under, he knows, oh, this guy's mine. Gets his hands on. A little handsy before the ball got there, but guess what? The refs didn't call it, and he made sure that that receiver was going to feel his presence when he was trying to make that tough catch.
There's Hugh Freeze immediately talking to Jackson Arnold. Now Dave Aranda, who typically does go for it on 4th down, watches Auburn punt. There's a marker down on the punt. Auburn touches up on it at the 6. That's Simmons who caught it. We'll see if that kick stands. This is where you can dream up an extra possession, though, when you are that type of team that is type A on 4th down.
Yes. It's I'm sitting here watching one of these plays as we wait for this flag to be called. And
illegal formation, kicking team more than 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 4th down.
They're going to make him kick again on the illegal formation. So Hudson Cock will boot it again. Former Australian rules football player who arrived in January, Hudson Cock. Cameron back to receive it, and it's another good one. Times tonight. Here is Robertson on a throw. He's got Trigg, and Trigg once again the most targeted player for Baylor, and he's in a 1-on-8 and he's winning. Trigg drags Auburn all the way across the 25. Relentless.
what a second effort there by Michael Trigg. You're going to see him make this catch on the little stop route. Boom, 1, couple, 2, 3. How many Auburn Tigers does it take to take this man down? Too many. You talked about that Texas high school football. Michael Trigg is from Florida, but there's nothing bigger than Texas high school football, and he wanted a piece of it right there.
Everybody knows who's had math in high school knows how difficult Trigg is, but that's beyond. That's what it feels like sometimes doing Trigg. Real quick,
yeah.
High school football in Texas. When you hear that, what does it mean to you?
Everything's bigger in Texas. There's some other states out there that think they know what they're doing when it comes to high school football, but Texas lives it. These types of atmospheres, 50,000 people, crazed fans, cowbells, that is what Texas football is all about, and both of these quarterbacks are prepared for this big moment.
Robertson into coverage, and he overthrew Wilson. Third down coming up. Maybe a little miscommunication there, possibly.
It certainly feels like it's a miscommunication when you're running that box fade. Again, it's one of Sawyer Robertson's favorite routes, but into cover 2, you can't make that throw as if it's the same as if it's cover 3 with a single safety or man coverage. He has to be able to see that. So it does appear that DJ Durkin is confusing Sawyer Robinson a little bit with the way that he is moving and shifting his defense.
3rd and 9. See what Durkin does. They'll rush 4 and a 5th late. Robertson has it batted right at the line. It is Keldrick Falk out of tiny Highland Home, Alabama. One of the best defensive players in the SEC gets a hand up.
Yeah, Keldrick Falk is going to come right here, and guess what? He gets stonewalled by Ryan Lingell. But what do you do when you get stonewalled as a defensive lineman? You start playing volleyball, okay? And that is one heck of a spike. The volleyball team would be extremely excited about what Keldrick Falk was able to do, patting that ball down.
From a town of about 1,200, he says no stoplights, 1 restaurant.
What's
you know
the
what the name of the
called?
restaurant is? The name of the restaurant is It Doesn't Matter. It Doesn't Matter Family Restaurant.
Seems like that's what he did on that pass rush. Hey, I didn't win. It doesn't matter. I can.
Fun is good. First down for Auburn from the 29. It's another run, and it is Cobb, and he is on the gas pedal, knocked down after 9. Auburn 7.5 yards per play on first down.
All they're doing is reading this in man on the line of scrimmage with the back screaming across. If he stays in, they let him go. It's a leverage play. If he can out leverage that defensive end, they let him go. And Baylor right now has not been able to figure out a method to stop that run play by the quarterback or the running back.
Right back to it. Off the right side, first down for Auburn. This is tough to deal with if you're a defense.
Oh my. Yeah, if you're on first downs getting 7.5 yards, the entire playbook is open for you as an offensive coordinator. I know Hugh Freeze is calling the plays, but Derek Nix is also setting up the first down calls. And I got to say right now, he is winning in my book, because if I was Hugh Freeze, I would give this man a raise.
I like you're trying to get the coaches taken care of. Here's Singleton all the way to midfield. It'll be very close, maybe about 1/4 of a yard short.
It's funny you say that, because the hoopla throughout camp was who's calling plays at Auburn. Yeah. Is it Hugh Freeze?
Here's a list of 3 people that might be.
Is it Derek Nix? Is it the quarterback coach Kent Austin? Oh my goodness. All Hugh is doing is setting this up like an NFL organization. Certain guys run and work in different packages, but the offensive coordinator, in this sense of Hugh Freeze, calls all of it. So it's just a group effort to allow him to be the best he can be on game days.
We just saw his right guard, Jeremiah Wright, leave the game. Arnold a run to the left side. Jackson Arnold crashing to the 30-yard line. It's a run of 21 once again.
Now, I want you guys to watch what they're doing on this run play. He is reading this linebacker. If the linebacker vacates with the back, he's going to replace him. Boom. Right away, the safety overcommits, and Jackson Arnold, once again, with a big run. They are fully committed to him using his legs to help them win this game. They don't care how many times he throws the ball.
They've run for 222 yards. Auburn has this to throw. Get it to Singleton and let him cook to the 23. Singleton, every game in his collegiate career, he's had a grab. He's got one there.
And this here is just a simple box count play. We call it, if nobody goes, I throws. If they don't cover down to the stack at the bottom, we're going to throw that ball.
Alston weaving to the 14. Auburn leaning on Baylor, going tempo here, trying to sap the energy from the Baylor defensive line. Quick hitter again. It's Singleton going to work, and he is crumpled down in a big heap on the sideline by Redding. You see Auburn's weapons now, especially with that run working, freeing up the edges.
And they just ran the same play on back-to-back downs there. and you could see on one, when that edge defender moves out to go cover the stack, they run the ball. When he stays in the box, they throw it out to the receivers. They're making Baylor second guess themselves on the defensive side of the ball right now and taking it to them.
Cobb the tailback, little hop to the 2. 1st and goal, Auburn. This is what Baylor had hoped to do with Washington and Pendergrass. Auburn's 2 running backs, fresh and alternating.
And they're just leaning on them, wearing on them. You know, at the end of the day, when you're on that offensive line and you see that guy across from you, when we talked to Xavier Chaplin, he said, another man is not going to beat me. And that's what their approach has been so far. They're just beating them at the point of attack.
Once again, it is a touchdown for Jeremiah Cobb, going low to score for Auburn.
Jeremiah Cobb. I want you to watch this defender right here for Baylor. Tamano Pepe is in the middle of that hole. And I don't know about you, but if I see a big 6'3", 376-pound Samoan trying to prevent me from getting to the end zone, I'd probably run the other direction. Oh, but not Jeremiah Cobb. He knows that in those situations, the low man wins. He got underneath the big fella and scored the touchdown.
What a rugged drive for Auburn. That is a tough hold. Nicely done by Hudson Cox. So Auburn will kick it away with Magoo. It's through the end zone and a touchback. Back to the last possession, Robert.
Yeah, we talked about this. It's just a formation to get the defense to move out. When Jackson Arnold sees the defender is out over the bunch, he's going to hand this ball off every single time. And it's a very free run for the back. The linebacker saying, Coach, what do you want me to do? Hey, I want you to move inside now. Jackson sees that no one is covered down on the outside. Now he's going to fake it to the back and throw it outside to Eric Singleton Jr. It seems like a very simple thing, and it's 7 yards here and 6 yards there, but it's constantly moving the ball forward and putting the defense in a bind.
Washington sneaks away from one tackle and then gets knocked around by Champ Anthony, who went and cleaned everything up. He was in there. Winters was in there. Listen to Auburn's defense right now.
Oh, yeah. When we say that they're barking, they are barking. They feel confident. They're up by 14. This Baylor offense, stalled out a little bit there at the end of the first half. And you saw a special play right there from Bryson Washington. It ended up being a great gain, but it's going to take Baylor's best players to start making big-time plays to get back in this one.
Robertson for Trigg. He got away again. It's a first down. He was matched up with Riddick and beat him for 20.
Oh, just a beautiful job of working vertical and getting inside of the defender. And the ball that he dropped before the end of the half, he ends up catching and getting vertical. Michael Trigg has truly been a mismatch nightmare for this Auburn defense all night.
Transferred by way of Ole Miss and USC with his 10th target of the night. Here's Cameron for the first time. There is a flag down at the Baylor 42. That would be Cameron's first catch.
Holding. Offense number 69. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
It's on the left tackle, Sidney Fugar.
Sidney Fugar lined up right here, working in his pass protection. I really never have understood this. Once that defender goes down and the offensive lineman kind of pancakes him down there, like, why are we throwing that? Why is that a flag on the offensive lineman for basically dominating the defensive lineman in that protection?
Your question would be, did it affect the play?
I don't think it affected the play. The defender was already at his waist and not going to be able to make that play there, but that's what they called. So now Baylor has to overcome it on 1st and 20.
With Robertson down the middle again, incomplete. Crawford actually got a mitt on it possibly as he missed Cameron. Robertson looking for his 10 touchdown maker last year.
Yeah, you're going to see Sawyer makes a nice throw, gets it above the backer, and it's a drop there by Josh Cameron. But I want you're going to see Sawyer's. Oh my gosh!
His hand on the follow
did you
through.
see that hand hit the helmet on the follow through? You could see him grimace. That's a tough one, but not getting Josh Cameron involved early in the game probably contributed to that drop.
It's a low throw on a screen, and he's got it for Hawkins. Ashton Hawkins on a breakaway to the 27. The throw was low and outside, but Hawkins caught the splitter for 42.
Yeah, Cole Wilson goes outside. Hawkins is going to come inside. A little screen play. And a little known fact about Ashton Hawkins, he has massive mittens, massive hands. That's why he was able to catch that low and away ball in stride and turn it up the field to make a big play for the Baylor Bears.
It's the first thing Sawyer Robertson said about Ashton Hawkins when we chatted with him yesterday. Pressure coming from Auburn. Oh, Knighton with a big pickup. Knighton frees up Robertson. There's a marker in. Sawyer throws for the end zone. It's nearly intercepted by Winters, and we'll check the flag all the way back at the 36. Boy, Knighton threw his body in.
Yeah, it's going to be holding on Caden Siraki there.
Holding, offense number 22.
Oh.
10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
They're going to get Knighton. It was a good pickup.
Yeah, they got Knighton on the hold. Watch Siriaki here and Knighton here. Siriaki's going to come down, and as the backer blitz, he goes back out. Knighton grabs the defender and holds him and pulls him as Sawyer Robinson is trying to escape the pocket. That's holding every single day of the week.
And another 1st and 20 that Baylor will try to handle. Knighton ended up on the ground this time. It is Hawkins, and he is wrangled by Riddick. That was more Riddick Bowe than DeMarcus Riddick. It's a gain of 13.
Yeah, you see the catch right here. He makes a move, and then he goes and, oh, that's a face mask.
Should have been.
That is 100% should be a penalty.
That's a miss.
I mean, I know he went to Baylor, but you didn't have to try to baptize him.
The crowd isn't reacting to you. 2nd and 7. They got to look at what should have been a penalty. Here's Knighton with Washington out. Knighton goes through the car wash to the 20-yard line, and the crowd rekindles its disdain. Mike Pereira, what'd you see?
It was the hand around it and didn't actually pull it, but he got underneath, and then he did grab it and pull it. And yes, it's one that should have been called. Obviously, replay can't do anything about this, so it's just a miss that the officials have to live with.
Mike, thank you. 3rd and 2 for Baylor. 2 plays to get 2 yards. Knighton, another pickup, and this is nearly picked off by Lee, and here comes a flag. Hawkins was bodying Lee.
Defense number 4. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul with an automatic first down.
Yeah, you're going to see it's the matchup up to the top of your screen. Ken Lee plays it well, gets his hands on. They're both fighting. I got to be honest, guys. I don't think it's pass interference.
You don't?
It's what they called, and they have to live with that. But when the receiver is engaging the DB at the same time, it should be fair play if they're hand fighting. Right there, in my opinion, Kean Lee played that better on the back shoulder than the receiver.
Instead, it's 1st and goal for Baylor. Robertson to throw, feeding the end zone, too high for Cameron. Crawford was right there with him. SEC all-freshman team player Crawford, as Robertson gets spatulaed up by Fugar and Ibedion. Here's the hit on Robertson.
Yeah, he just gets put. Fugar gets pushed back into Robertson. You see right here, he hits him on the knee. And when that leg is exposed, that front leg of the quarterback, it's why you see so many protections in the NFL at the QB position. You're in such a vulnerable spot. That leg is out in front. You don't know what's happening around you. Luckily for Sawyer Robertson, he was able to get up, and hopefully it won't affect his play.
That's the power of Falk, Keldrick Falk. Robertson got it to Prentice. The Alabama transfer squeals the brakes and ends up at the 4. Third and goal. 2 plays to get in for Baylor against DJ Durkin's defense.
And with how this game is going, you almost feel like Baylor has to come away with a touchdown here. Nice job there by Kobe Prentice of not trying to be pretty and run along the outside. He got vertical, got them down to the 4-yard line. This is 4-down territory. Look for the quarterback run to potentially be something that Baylor uses.
Hawkins in motion, looking that direction. Back over the middle for Trigg, and it's batted incomplete. Riddick got the hand in there. It's 4th and goal.
And they had Trigg. He's going to run here and go right on a slant on the inside, wide open, once again winning that matchup, and he just can't sneak it in there. Sawyer Robinson tries to make that throw by leading him across the middle. On those types of passes, we want to throw them a little bit higher to the back of the end zone near the goalpost so Trigg can go up and make that play.
Setting up 4th and goal. Knighton the tailback. Robertson goes that way. Knighton behind Kloffenstein. Touchdown, Baylor. A 4th down score for the 2nd time tonight gives Baylor life.
Sometimes you got to get the ball in the hands of some of your best players. Baylor here is going to give Caden Knighton a free release blocker at the tight end and run the outside receivers in. Caden Knighton uses the speed that they've been raving about all camp to get the edge and keep Baylor in this game.
100 meters state champ in the state of Oklahoma. Top 30 running back out of high school who scored 38 touchdowns his last year of high school. Lights are brighter now, and he's in again.
So apparently Caden Knighton is a soccer fan.
Big football guy.
Big
in 2 ways.
Guy.
Pleasant on the return. Rayshawn Pleasant, breakaway speed. He scored twice on kicks before he got to Auburn, and he's got one for the Tigers tonight. 98 yards.
They told us that everybody in the country is going to know who this guy is. If they didn't know his name, they're going to know it now.
The Tulane transfer has made a lot of friends in Alabama.
Man, the momentum shifts in this game have been just so drastic and crazy.
Extra point is good for McPherson. This broke quickly.
And this is the thing, when you watch Rayshawn Pleasant, a lot of returners are afraid to get in the thick of it. He doesn't hit this all the way on the outside. He runs through the gap. And then at this point, it's off to the races. And let me tell you, for Rayshawn, that was a pleasant surprise.
As a track guy yourself, what's it like when you feel clean air?
If he had hair, it would be flowing, right? You just know when you're running so fast that nobody's going to catch you. And he said, I told y'all, this what we bout. This what we do.
2 last year with Tulane, against Louisiana and against UAB, and here against Baylor tonight. He has flipped this game in a big way.
You sit here and you have to understand what Rayshawn Pleasant just did and how it impacts the psyche of the Baylor sideline. They just had what I call a hard drive. 4th down, go for it, get the touchdown. You think, all right, we're back, we're settled. They kick it off, and Auburn takes it back to the house. Immediately, you're put back on the defensive. Baylor has to come away with another, doesn't have to be a long drive, but they got to get points here to get this crowd back in it and settle down their team.
Yeah, Baylor just had the Mines of Moria of drives. Here is Wilson on the return for Baylor, and he is met and drilled. Auburn's got all the momentum right now. 37 seconds to go, quarter number 3. This Baylor team just kept responding last year. You see the time of possession. Neither of these teams really was a ball control team at all last year, but Auburn has played that game very well tonight.
Yeah, they have, and it's the difference between the tempos, but honestly, Auburn's defense has played so well tonight that they've restricted a little bit of what you see on the screen Jake Spavital wants to do. They want to run plays at rapid pace all the time, but Auburn is presenting so many issues for them, and they have to protect against Keldrick Falk, number 15, wrecking this game for them here in the end.
Robertson loads up down the sideline, too much for Wilson. Second down. 15 minutes and change to go. Auburn, one of those teams that you look at the metrics last year. Good offense, good defense. Turnovers were a mess. Red zone touchdowns were a mess, but Hugh Freeze and his recruiting ability, and we've seen it with the class that's coming in again, right? Very strong recruiting classes. This is his best team so far at Auburn.
Oh, 100%. Best receiving core, best playmakers, best overall talent.
Down the middle, here's Cameron, whirling into space. Cameron wheeling again. He's a tornado across the 45. A 7 on the Fujita scale for 27 yards.
And finally there, Josh Cameron makes a play. But watch how quickly and how tight of a throwing window this is. Over one defender, between two defenders, spin move. Josh Cameron's out there making the defenders do the cha-cha and finishing strong down the field. He's probably thinking to himself, finally.
That's the end of the third quarter, timeout.
With a vengeance! Just short. K.N. Lee ran him down after 51 yards.
Now they've been pulling guards and running everybody down, but on this one they just said, no, we're going to lean on you. And Bryson Washington.
Number 85.
Oh,
there's a hold back at the 50.
So now let's show you the hold. Because normally with these wing tight ends, they bring them around, but it's right here on the right of your screen. You see him, as soon as the defender tries to get away, he has to let go. Ooh, what do you think, Jason?
I don't know.
Right there, he does have the hand on the outside of the shoulder pad, and that's why you got to be careful when you're in the interior or in that tackle box blocking. You don't want to block with your arms on the outside like you're hugging the defender. You want your hands to shoot forward right underneath those chest plates, and that'll protect you from getting those holding calls.
Just the third penalty accepted against Baylor tonight is an absolute killer. Washington is out after the long run. Knight in the back. Robertson throws it wide of Trigg. So if you're the offense here, you're in that huddle, what are you telling your guys if you saw your Robertson after seeing that run come back?
Trust me. We're going to make the play. Do your job. Run the route that you're supposed to run. Right there, he didn't make the correct throw, an accurate throw, but he did go to the right place. Baylor cannot try to get back into this game with one large play. They're going to have to do it consistently down in and down out.
2nd and 18, short set, time to throw. Right down the middle again. He's got it for Trigg again. Targeted for the 13th time tonight. Gain of 16.
And it's the same play. They're putting Trigg inside the slot, whether it's a 2-man surface or a 3-man surface to his side, and telling them, hey, you got one-on-one with this linebacker or this nickelback. They can't cover you. We're going to continue to feed the rock, make plays for us. That's why he has been the most targeted guy. It's because of the structure of this Auburn defense.
83 yards worth so far. Robertson sees pressure in his face and wings it for Wilson. Oh my goodness, Cole Wilson with alarm bells going off for Robertson.
What did I tell you, Jason?
Trust me.
He's got pressure in his face, and before that, a few drives ago, I said he's got to throw this back shoulder ball on the box fade because of the safety. He makes it happen, and he hooks up with Cole Wilson, who is having himself one heck of a football game.
116 yards for Wilson. First down for Baylor from the Auburn 22. Washington back in as the tailback. 4-man rush. Robertson sees it. Robertson throws it for the end zone, just wide, incomplete. He wanted Hawkins. There is a marker down at the Auburn 6 in the secondary.
Holding defense number 23. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot includes an automatic first down.
It's on Crawford, who typically plays the ball very well for the Tigers. First down for Baylor.
Yeah, they call this right here on Jay Crawford. Watch as Josh Cameron comes off the ball. He gets hands on. You got to let him go. At this point, now it's holding, and the ref has no choice but to throw that flag.
First down. It's a handoff again. Washington trying to slice through. Barely kept his feet, and he'll get a yard and a half. Atkins the stop, 2nd and 8, under 13 to go.
And Jason, it was interesting for Bryson Washington. He actually went into the locker room for a little bit. Not sure what happened there. I'm sure Alexa can probably find out for us down on the sideline. But then he comes back into the game and has that massive big run. Him being back out there probably gives this Baylor offense even more confidence because they know they're back at full strength.
He was out for the balance of the third quarter. He's next to Robertson. He'll get it again, picking his way up the middle and inviting contact, and just collapsing forward to the 5. Third down for Baylor, who scored 2 touchdowns tonight on 4th down. You know, you think about what's at stake here for both of these teams, trying to trumpet themselves as contenders in an expanded college football playoff last year. Dave Aranda's team won 6 in a row before the bowl game last year, and a tough schedule that if they build up some wins, people are going to notice. Third down and 3, Robertson. End zone, touchdown, Trigg. He is an absolute nightmare for the Auburn second level.
Remember that play they ran early in the first quarter that they didn't connect on? Right here, they run the same one, and guess who gets the ball? Michael Trigg. Sawyer adjusted, put some air on the ball, allowed his receiver to make a play on it. Michael Trigg, coming into this game, had the potential to truly break out. He is showing NFL scouts that are here, and I saw a bunch of them, that he might be a tight end that could play at the next level.
Hey, don't tell the folks in the NBA, by the way, because he was 20 points a game in high school basketball.
A lot of the NFL hanging around, but you never know. Maybe the Mavericks are watching too.
Well, they traded Luka, so.
7-point game.
College football is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Baylor got the 51-yard run from Washington. It was called back. 6 plays later, Trigg finds his way into the end zone, and they love it on that sideline.
It's really a testament when we have these meetings and they come back and tell us exactly what is going to happen. Sawyer Robinson said, I'm going to feed the hot hand. Cole Wilson and Michael Trigg are the hot hands you see there, having more receiving yards than the rest of the team combined.
He said it's based on feel, Sawyer Robertson, and he's got that with Trigg. Our Good Hands moment sponsored by Allstate, celebrating 20 years of the Allstate Good Hands Nets program. Rayshawn Pleasant flipped this game in a heartbeat.
Yes, he did. A pleasant surprise on that kickoff return for a touchdown. Really swung the momentum back in Auburn's favor. Let's see if Auburn can put together a drive here. Their last couple touchdown drives have been really long, drawn-out ones that eat up a lot of clock. It would be paramount for them to do that right here with Baylor now having the momentum.
Auburn has run for about 6.5 yards per play on the ground. Alston crumples after 2 in the arms of Keaton Thomas. 2nd down and 8, and Alston is slow to get up. See if he stays in. They've got a 1-2 punch with Cobb. Yeah, he's coming off.
Yeah, I mean, they've been feeding him a lot throughout this game, and he's been running right into the thick of it with guys like Keaton Thomas and Matthew Fobbs-White attacking the line of scrimmage. You hope that he's okay and can come back into this game.
Arnold for Cobb. Swinging out of the backfield, and he goes down. Oh, what a play by Devin Bobby, the senior for Baylor, fighting through a block.
Oh my gosh, if you could see where Devin Bobby came from, deep at safety, makes the tackle. Sometimes when guys go low, they close their eyes and don't see what they hit. Right here, Devin Bobby makes sure he finishes the play on the ground. He is a great player and a guy that they don't ever want coming off the field.
Dave Aranda said he's playing his best football that he's seen right now. 3rd down and 8. Arnold lets it rip, and a 1st down. What a battle for Horatio Fields, and tangled to get the extra yard.
Yeah, just a physical route. He's going to run what we call a lightning. Push vertical, boom, sit it down. He's not afraid to put his hands on the DB because the DB is putting his hands on him. That's just a grown man throw and a grown man completion right there. Nice job by Horatio Fields.
It's LeVar Thornton, who's 6'3", about 190, and he ran through him. Cobb. That's what Auburn's been doing on 1st down, grinding to put Baylor behind the sticks. 2nd down and medium. DJ Coleman the stop. We're under 10 minutes. And if you're Auburn, how much do you feel the fatigue on the Baylor line, and how do you use that?
Yeah, you certainly feel it. It's not just the fatigue. It's also the fact that number 0, Jackie Marshall, is not in the game. They're running right where he would be in these situations because they know the leader of their defense is off the field.
It's a long mesh. Cobb's got it, and he is tackled by Phoenix Jackson, who just followed him and shadowed him the whole way. 3rd and 3.
I mean, if you can just watch, Phoenix Jackson is here, and he's going to end up making the tackle all the way on the opposite sideline, runs right through the offensive lineman. If you ever thought that these young men don't want it, it takes that type of effort in a game like this with 2 powerhouses going at each other.
And you see Marshall on the sideline. All he can do is watch right now. 3rd down and 3. Arnold is drilled. There's a flag in. Keaton Thomas was first. We'll see if it stands. Fobbs-White helped him, and there is that neon personality of Thomas. We'll see if the play stands.
Holding defense on an eligible receiver.
Wow.
10-yard penalty is added to the end of the run. Automatic 1st down. Correction, it's from the previous spot with an automatic 1st down.
There are receivers in this pattern here, Robert.
Looks like they're going to call that holding. It was Preston Howard, the tight end, who came out. And Phoenix Jackson kind of grabbed him a little bit as he was coming across. So this is Preston Howard. He's coming across the formation, and you'll see right here.
Saw him get ready to put his hands on him, but Auburn's to the line quickly here. Darrell Robinson is in for his first carry of the season, and he is wiped out by Kalu.
And Darrell Robinson's coming in the game, obviously because Damari Alston went out and hasn't been back in the game since. It looked like he was a little bit banged up. But so far on this drive, Auburn is doing exactly what you want to do. Eat the clock. You've been running the ball effectively. Hey, man, we got these great 3 receivers on the outside that we want to throw the football to. But right now, our bread and butter is just moving the chains, involving 11 on 11 with the quarterback running.
And they'll go empty for a moment. Here's Howard into the backfield, the big tight end. And this is Cam Newton-like a power run for Auburn 15 years later from the Heisman down to the 40, third down.
Yeah, there's a feeling right now that I have that Hugh Freeze is saying, you know what, we're not going to lose this game. We're not going to lose this game for ourselves by trying to force the ball down the field in the passing game. What's been working is running the football, so Jackson Arnold is going to have to make sure his conditioning is top-notch for the rest of this game, as they're going to continue to feed him and feed Jeremiah Cobb and feed Darrell Robinson as they weigh on this Baylor defensive line.
They will split Cobb out wide, bring both tight ends to the near side. They will motion, and here is Arnold putting his head down. Helmet forward, it's a first down. What a tough run.
Oh my gosh. Yes, he's going to go with a fake to the receiver and then get downhill immediately because the defensive end rolls with the receiver on the fake. And then look at the grit and the toughness right here. Obviously, we don't want him to put the crown of his helmet down because we want to protect him, but just the guts it takes to understand, hey, I'm going to get hit, but this means everything to me. Jackson Arnold says he loves football, and right there, he showed you why.
After an up-and-down career at Oklahoma, he's getting to make his mark at Auburn. It starts right now as Jeremiah Cobb goes down after a gain of 3. Baylor has 3 timeouts. It's not yet time to use them, but we're closing in on that on the horizon.
Yeah, what they need to do is, as Auburn continues to drive this football down the field, they got to say, all right, enough is enough. We're going to stop them, try to hold them to a field goal, put them in a situation where they have to make a decision on 4th down. But if you just keep giving up 4 and 5 yards of play, it's going to be a long drive all the way down into the end zone.
Simpkins just wandered in the box, then he faded back. It's a lighter box with that, and Cobb crashes forward for 3.5 in the arms of Phoenix Jackson. It's 3rd down, and Auburn can take it under 5 minutes after the snap.
Yeah, with it being 3rd down and 3, again, what has Auburn been doing this entire time? Running the football. I would look for Dave Aranda to try to dial up one of his exotic blitzes here. Think of it more as a run game blitz. A nickel off the edge, a corner blitz, which we've seen him bring a couple times throughout this game, because the box count right now is not in Baylor's favor. You're going to see extra guys in the box.
It's a fresh running back, Alston, against that. They do load the box. They do feed Alston, and he is down short of the line to gain by a yard. So now Hugh Freeze with all of the kicking questions. Hugh Freeze against a Baylor team that likes to go for it but is gassed has a big choice. And it looks like it's not much of one.
Looks like they're going with a tush push.
Can still do it in college football.
Timeout by Auburn.
Timeout Auburn. They'll think it over. Their hope is they don't need those timeouts later in the game. Can Baylor stand tall? Will Auburn get a yard? It's
right here to shift the momentum back to the Baylor Bears. It only takes one guy to make a play to stop this conversion, and he understands the gravity of this moment.
If you're wondering why out of the shotgun, Auburn ran 13 plays under center all year last year. It is 4th down and 1. Singleton in motion. Straight up the middle, Arnold is gone. Farewell. Jackson Arnold, touchdown.
Oh my gosh. What a run. What a play call. I want you to watch all of these defenders as Eric Singleton Jr. comes across the formation. They all overrun the gap, and Jackson Arnold looks around like, you gotta be kidding me. This is the easiest touchdown run I've had in my career, untouched. Man, we talked about him being a dynamic playmaker. He came ready to play today.
Goes into the transfer portal. You have no idea what your legacy is going to be. You were at Oklahoma for a season that you wish were better. Couple of them. He breaks free. He's got Auburn in the lead by 14, making a really rough night on Baylor with Jackson Arnold's legs.
It's thriller time.
S40, that's the brand new coupe. Stuff with what the I do. Caught the plane with Matt Barnett too. Thank the gods I'm nothing like you.
The clock.
Yeah, it was. Shout out to Ronnie Brown right there on your screen as well. Legendary running back there.
How about him?
He was special, but I'm sure he's impressed with what he just saw from Jackson Arnold.
Baylor has 3 timeouts and 4.5 to go. Let's go back to the touchdown, Robert.
Yes, I want to show everybody at home something special. So Eric Singleton Jr. has been running this motion the entire game, and they've been reading this man on the in line of scrimmage. But here, instead, they take the back, and they take him to block the in man on the line of scrimmage. That means this was a called run play the entire time. Getting 11 on 11, that's why they had extra blockers. But Baylor was so keyed in on Singleton Jr. that they forgot about the guy that's been torching him the entire night.
We were talking to Hugh Freeze during the week about the way he sets up plays. And he said he was at Ole Miss as an assistant coach about 10 years ago, a little while longer than that. He had Mike Wallace, who ended up playing for a long while in the NFL, and Hugh Freeze just decided, like, I don't need him down blocking on people. As Robertson will throw, it's a lob to the sideline, it's incomplete. He said, look, like, I got talented guys. I can do things off of this. If people are going to expect that, let me use my talent in plays that look similarly. As there's an injured player down, it is Williams, Amaris Williams for Auburn. But it's kind of a revelation for Hugh Freeze because of the talented player Wallace in what he can do in plays that look alike.
Yeah, it's probably why he's also been a really effective recruiter when it comes to receivers. I don't know many guys that are just like, yeah, I want to kind of come down in the box and block this 280-pound defensive end. He's going to give them opportunities to do what they do best. For Singleton, it's being out on the edge. It's running deep routes. For Coleman, it's catches deep down the field. Hugh Freeze understands that aspect, and now all they got to do is not turn the ball over, and that's what they did today.
Hold that thought. Williams down. We'll come back after this. Amaris Williams, the sophomore out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, part of a really deep defensive line room for the Auburn Tigers, being helped off very gingerly off the field. Auburn leading 38-24. They're trying to get a stop against Baylor, who does have 3 timeouts, so all is not lost here for the Bears. If they score quickly, they could play it with the 3 timeouts straight up.
And I just believe for Baylor, they've got to stick with tempo. Running plays extremely fast has always been their bread and butter.
Down the middle, this is on target for Wilson. He is dropped pretty quickly by Robinson, the senior from Jacksonville. It's 3rd down.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they run that play, they get the catch. Normally, Baylor is at the line of scrimmage running plays at lightning speed. For some reason, they've been a little bit slower today, and I think that's impacted their offensive groove.
Under 4 minutes here as Robertson now takes the snap. And he'll throw this way. It's a comeback for Hawkins. He turns upfield and gets to the 42.
And Jason, here's the issue now for this Baylor offense. They know they have to throw the football. Auburn knows they have to throw the football. So their defensive line can pin their ears back and rush the passer. But Baylor's going to be difficult for them to hit the deep down the field shots because Auburn is playing a 2-shell defense. You see this safety and this safety, they're making them keep everything in front of them.
Here's how deep Auburn is. Keldrick Falk is not on the field right now for the Tigers as part of this package. It's a screen. It comes to the near side once again for Cole Wilson. It's a gain of 11. 3:17 to go.
And this is a very mature move by Jake Spavital. Take what the defense is giving you. You got 3 timeouts. You don't have to force it. You took a shot on first down. It didn't work out. Now just make them run sideline to sideline and make tackles in space with your short, speedy receivers.
You'd like to get in before the 2-minute timeout if you could, if you're Baylor, but scores are the thing. Down the middle, tipped and incomplete. There's a marker in. It was Robinson tied up with Trigg, drawing the marker.
Pass interference, defense number 5. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Includes an automatic first down.
Robinson can't believe it.
The reason this is a flag is because right here, look, Michael Trigg's been going inside the whole game, so he goes outside, and Robinson's not ready for that. And if you're a defender, you don't want to get beat down the middle of the field. In this situation, taking that pass interference is probably better than giving up a massive gain that could potentially be a touchdown if Trigg runs with it.
That's like a catcher trying to frame a ball in the dirt, though. Him saying I didn't do anything, that was it. That's interference.
He definitely did something.
First down, Robertson to throw. Feeling the pressure right in his face. He'll double out of it and throw. Incomplete for Washington. There is a marker down at the 44 in the area of holding.
Holding, offense number 68. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
It's Omar Ibedion.
Yeah, Ibedion right here. Big, thick fella right there. He's going to get run over, essentially. And when he falls down, he takes the defender with him. That's a hold. You can't pull a guy to you and then go pancake him. So now Baylor pushed themselves even further back in a dire situation right here to try to score before the 2-minute timeout.
You see the value of the fresh defensive line for Auburn. That was Malik Blockton with a lot of energy. Prentice in motion here. Robertson off his back foot. Got it down the middle for another completion to Cameron. Josh Cameron wheeling again inside the red zone with 2 and change to go. Baylor has new life.
Oh, man, just a nice job by Josh Cameron being patient. He knows he's got an inside route, inside release. Get there, know when you're open, and then finish. He's a big, strong fella, almost built like a defensive end, and it seems like nobody's been able to tackle him on that first point of contact for this entire game.
A former walk-on, Josh Cameron. Hugh Freeze wants the clock to be moving, and you see in the background all of his assistants are following along.
Pretty smart to follow the head coach.
Yeah, you don't want to go up to him and say, "Hey, coach, here's why." Not with that look. Two and a half to go. Robertson in the pocket. He'll bail now, and he goes down. There's Keldrick Falk, and all 1,000 people in Highland Home, Alabama rejoice.
You want to know why people are happy that the Packers traded for Micah Parsons? It's because in late game situations, you need a closer, and Keldrick Falk had been disappeared for the majority of the game. But now at the end, because he's been kept fresh, he can make those plays off the edge.
Just got that play off. Falk sped up the timer again, and Washington is drilled by Atkins. Oh, man, what a collision.
This is the 2-minute timeout of the second half.
2-minute timeout. We'll take a 30-second break with Baylor driving.
(38-24) your score. Auburn with the lead over Baylor. The Bears are driving, and Sawyer Robertson looking to have a big moment in Baylor green. And while we have a moment, when you say two shell, what are fans looking for here?
You're looking for these two safeties. That's a two-shell defense, means you have one-on-ones all along the inside.
Trigg in the slot at the bottom of your screen. He comes open. There he is. It's Trigg down to the 10-yard line. And that is very close for Baylor. They're going to say 4th down for the Baylor Bears. 4th and 1. 3 timeouts, but they need them. Clock is moving right now. Got to go. Robertson sees the pressure, wings it to the end zone. Trigg couldn't haul it in. Auburn takes over on downs as Trigg could not reel it home.
He went to the right place. He went to the right player. And Trigg just couldn't haul this ball in. And that's what they say. Primetime players make primetime plays in primetime games. And right there, Baylor just came up a little short.
People will talk about the 4th and 1 call and say maybe you should get the 1st down. Where do you stand on the play call, Robert?
I think you're trying to win the game. They haven't been able to really move the line of scrimmage a ton on the offensive line. The majority of their yardage has come through the air. As you can see, Baylor only has 64 yards rushing.
Yep.
So they trusted their matchup, their one-on-one. I've got no problem with taking that shot. We're only looking at it that way because it was dropped.
Yeah, it's 1st down for Auburn here. Alston steps out of a tackle and wanders his way to the 15-yard line. There's the first Baylor timeout. An Auburn 1st down finishes the deal here as we take a look at our team comparison sponsored by T-Mobile. Auburn has rattled off 301 yards on the ground, RG3.
Yeah, those are the two biggest numbers here, right here, and the rushing yards. Going 5 of 15 on the money down is never a winning recipe. Baylor was not good enough tonight in those moments to stay on the field and convert. And for Auburn, they told us time and time again, they have to win the line of scrimmage. I think 301 rushing yards on this Baylor defense and 6.1 yards a carry is winning the line of scrimmage.
That's even better than they were last year. They were a top 25 team in yards per carry. They were 5-7 last year. Auburn has gotten better through the portal and the offensive line, and we've seen it tonight.
Yes, it gives War Eagle all those expectations that they had coming into this game. They're probably going to be bigger after leaving this because this is a really good Baylor football team that is extremely experienced. Auburn wanted to know how are our young players going to show up tonight, and they showed up.
Big time. Our Above and Beyond, sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Before 3rd down, be a sub above. Jackson Arnold, 134. You said it, and Matt Powledge, the defensive coordinator for Baylor, said, look, to you, he's like, people aren't talking about Jackson Arnold and his legs, but what he can do is huge in this game, and it was.
And the best thing he did was he protected the football. Hey, they're giving me reads. It's either a run, a handoff. I got one read to go. I'm going to make it happen. I'm not going to complain and say, no, I want to go through 4 or 5 progressions. I'm going to make plays and make the right play for my offense when the coach calls the play. Everybody over pursues. I'm going to go hit that gap and score a touchdown.
Call it 3rd and 2. Here he goes again. Jackson Arnold very fittingly wins the game for Auburn, barring an absolute catastrophe.
Yes, it's just time and time again. I got to tip my hat to Hugh Freeze for the way that he called this game. Early on, it was like, man, we want to get our receivers on the outside involved with these highly touted guys. They could still be All-Americans. But today, underneath the Friday Night Lights, it was the running game, and he stuck to that. Jackson Arnold probably is coming out of this game way more confident, and he'll step into their next games throughout the next couple of weeks, and maybe they'll get that passing game going.
Denton Geyer's finest gets Auburn to the finish line tonight. They've got big games coming up. He'll very much care about that Oklahoma game, but how about this for Auburn tonight, RG3, as Jackson Arnold's going to enjoy this thing for a while. No turnovers, 2 for 3 in the red zone with touchdowns.
Yes.
A